What if the next time you trip, your body cannot catch itself fast enough? You are walking across the kitchen, carrying coffee, when your toe catches the edge of a rug. In one split second, a step can become a dangerous fall. Most people assume tripping is bad luck, clumsiness, or simply part of getting older. But repeated trips are often a warning that two muscle groups have weakened. These muscles should lift your toes and drive your leg forward, keeping your foot safely above the ground with every step. The good news is that you can train them. Today, I will show you 5 exercises designed to strengthen both muscle groups, retrain your foot lifting pattern, and help you clear everyday obstacles more safely. You can practice them at home without equipment. You will learn why your foot keeps catching the floor and how to correct the problem before a stumble becomes a fall. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Why do adults over 70 trip more often? Every step requires your foot to swing forward and clear the ground, and 2 muscle groups must activate at the right time. The first group is the ankle dorsiflexors along the front of your shin. They lift your toes and the front of your foot as your leg swings. When they weaken, your toes may drag and catch a rug, threshold, or sidewalk. The second group is your hip flexors at the front of the hip. They drive your knee forward and help lift the leg. When they become weak, your foot stays closer to the floor, forcing the ankle muscles to compensate. Imagine opening a door with a stiff hinge. It moves, but not far enough. The same thing happens when these muscles lose strength. Your foot does not rise high enough. Fortunately, both groups can become stronger with consistent exercise. Exercise 1. The stair activation. Why it matters. This is the foundation of everything. The single most direct exercise you can do to target both muscle groups responsible for tripping at the exact same time. Most exercises work one muscle group at a time. The step lift is different. It combines an ankle movement and a hip movement into one fluid 2-stage repetition, which means every single rep you complete is training the precise sequence of muscle activations that your body needs to execute with every step you take. What makes this exercise so powerful for seniors over 70 is not just what it strengthens, it is what it retrains. After months or years of shuffling, dragging steps, the neural pathway that tells your ankle to lift and your hip to drive has grown faint from disuse. The step lift sends a clear, strong signal along that exact pathway with every repetition. Over time, the signal gets stronger, the muscles respond faster, and your foot begins to clear the ground the way it was always designed to. How to do it? All you need is the bottom step of your staircase or a low, sturdy footstool. Stand tall near the wall or handrail with one hand available for support at all times. Place the foot of your working leg on the step, heel resting on the step, toes pointing upward. Your standing leg should be slightly bent, never locked. Back straight, chin level, shoulders relaxed. Now lift your toes as high as you possibly can toward your shin, keeping your heel firmly on the step. Hold for 1 second. Feel the front of your shin engage. Then, while keeping those toes lifted, slowly raise your knee upward toward your chest as high as you comfortably can. Hold for 1 second at the top. Then lower your knee slowly, lower your toes, and return to the starting position. That is 1 complete repetition. Do 10 repetitions on each leg. Complete 2 sets per session. Rest 30 seconds between sets. What to focus on? After several repetitions, you should feel a mild fatigue building along the front of your shin and at the front of your hip. That is exactly right. That is the signal that these muscles are being challenged and will grow stronger. Do not rush the lowering phase. The controlled descent builds the eccentric strength your muscles need to stabilize your foot when it lands on the ground with each real step. Progress tip. Once 10 repetitions feel manageable, increase to 12, then 15 over the following weeks. The goal is steady, progressive challenge, not speed, not strain. Slow and controlled always wins. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. Exercise 2, the shin power walk. Why it matters. The step lift builds the strength. The toe raise walk teaches your body to use that strength while actually moving, which is when it matters most. There is a critical difference between being able to lift your toes while standing still and being able to lift them automatically, repeatedly, and with full control while your body is in motion. This exercise bridges that gap. It trains your ankle dorsiflexors to fire consistently with every step, building the habit of proper foot clearance into your actual walking pattern rather than just into a stationary exercise. Many seniors over 70 who trip regularly have no difficulty lifting their toes when they are standing still and paying full attention. The problem occurs when they are walking, thinking about something else, carrying something, or simply moving through their day on autopilot. The toe raise walk trains the reflex to fire automatically, without conscious thought, which is exactly what you need it to do in a real tripping situation. How to do it? Find a clear hallway or open space along a wall. Stand at one end with one hand lightly touching the wall for support if needed. Begin walking, but with each step before your foot swings forward, consciously lift your toes upward as high as you can and keep them lifted throughout the entire swing phase until your heel makes contact with the ground. Heel touches down first, toes still lifted, then the rest of the foot follows. Take 10 steps forward this way, turn carefully using small controlled steps, and walk back 10 steps. That is one set. Complete 3 sets with a 30-second rest between each one. What to focus on? Keep your gaze forward, not down at your feet. In real life, your ankle needs to lift automatically while your eyes are focused on where you are going, not on the mechanics of your own feet. This exercise begins building that automatic quality from the very first step. If you feel unsteady, slow down and keep your hand on the wall. Speed is never the goal here. Progress tip. Once this feels natural and automatic on flat ground, try the same walk on a slightly different surface, from hardwood to carpet, for example. The slight variation in texture and resistance forces your nervous system to adapt and generalize the pattern, which is precisely what you need for real-world safety where surfaces are rarely perfectly uniform. Exercise 3. The hip drive march. Why it matters. If the ankle dorsiflexors are one half of the tripping equation, the hip flexors are the other, and this exercise targets them directly. When your hip flexors are strong, they generate the forward drive that lifts your entire thigh with each step. That thigh lift is what creates the chain reaction. Thigh rises, knee comes up, ankle clears the ground. When the hip flexors are weak, that chain reaction breaks down at the very first link. And no amount of ankle strength can fully compensate for a hip that is not doing its share of the work. The high knee march rebuilds this lifting reflex from the ground up. It is simple, it requires no equipment, and it directly mimics the hip movement your body needs with every single walking step. Done consistently, it restores the power and speed of that hip drive, which means your foot spends more time safely in the air and less time dangerously close to the ground where tripping happens. How to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands resting lightly on the back for support. Stand tall, back straight, chin level, shoulders relaxed. Slowly lift your right knee upward towards your chest as high as you comfortably can without leaning your upper body backward. Hold for 2 full seconds at the top. Then lower your foot back to the floor slowly and with complete control. Repeat on the left side. That is 1 full repetition. Complete 15 repetitions on each side, 30 total lifts, at a slow, deliberate pace throughout. What to focus on? The lifting work should come entirely from your hip, not from momentum, not from leaning back, not from a quick swing of the leg. Slow, intentional, powerful. And the lowering phase matters just as much as the lift. Do not let your foot drop. Control the descent all the way to the floor. This eccentric control is what stabilizes your foot the moment it returns to the ground in real walking, and it is one of the most undertrained qualities in seniors over 70. Progress tip. As this becomes easier, practice the march while moving slowly forward through your hallway. lifting each knee deliberately before stepping, then placing your heel down first. You are now combining this exercise directly with the toe raise walk from exercise 2, creating the closest possible simulation of proper, safe walking mechanics that you can train at home. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Exercise 4. The shin endurance walk. This exercise targets the ankle dorsiflexors in the most direct and concentrated way possible by forcing them to stay fully activated throughout an entire period of walking rather than just for a single step or a single repetition. Walking on your heels requires your shin muscles to hold your toes lifted continuously, which builds both the strength and the endurance of these muscles in a way that no other exercise in this routine can replicate. Endurance matters because in real life you are not just taking one step. You are walking across the parking lot, through the grocery store, down the hallway to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. Your ankle dorsiflexors need to be strong enough to do their job not just once, but repeatedly throughout your entire day. How to do it? Stand near a wall with one hand lightly touching it for balance. Lift the front of both feet off the ground simultaneously so that only your heels are in contact with the floor. Hold your toes as high as you can, both feet at the same time. Now begin walking forward on your heels only, taking small, careful steps while keeping your toes lifted throughout. Walk 10 steps forward, then carefully turn and walk 10 steps back. That is one set. Complete 2 sets with a 30-second rest between them. What to focus on? This will feel challenging, and that is exactly right. Your shin muscles will fatigue quickly in the beginning, and that is the whole point. Stay near the wall at all times. Take very small steps. Do not try to walk fast or cover distance. The goal is continuous activation of the dorsiflexors, not speed or distance. If your toes drop at any point, stop, reset, and begin again. Partial activation does not produce the same training effect. Progress tip: begin with just 5 steps in each direction if 10 feels like too much. Add 1 or 2 steps per session as your endurance builds. Most people are surprised by how quickly their shin muscles strengthen with this exercise, because they are muscles that respond very rapidly to the right kind of direct challenge. Exercise 5. The clearance step. Everything you have practiced in the previous 4 exercises has been building toward this moment, because this exercise is the closest real-world simulation of the exact situation that causes tripping in seniors over 70. A rug edge, a door threshold, a pet toy on the floor, a garden hose across the path. In every one of these situations, your brain needs to detect the obstacle, send the signal to lift your foot high enough to clear it, and land safely and stably on the other side, all in a fraction of a second. When that chain of events works correctly, you step over and keep moving without breaking stride. When it breaks down anywhere along the way, when the signal is slow, when the hip flexor is too weak to generate the lift, when the ankle fails to hold the toes high enough, that is when a stumble becomes a fall. This exercise trains every single link in that chain simultaneously: the detection, the lift, the clearance, and the controlled landing. Done consistently, it builds the automatic protective reflexes that catch you before you even realize you are starting to fall. How to do it? Place a pool noodle, a rolled-up towel, or a similarly soft and lightweight object on the floor of your hallway. It should be approximately 4 to 6 inches high, significant enough to require a genuine, deliberate lift, but soft enough that stepping on it carries absolutely no risk of injury. Stand a few feet back from the obstacle with a wall or sturdy chair within immediate reach. Walk toward the obstacle at a normal, controlled pace. As you approach, slow down slightly, lift your right foot deliberately and early, well before you reach the object, and step over it with clear, confident clearance. Then lift your left foot and step completely past the obstacle. Continue walking 3 or 4 steps beyond it, turn carefully, and return to step over it again. Complete 5 passes in each direction. 10 total step-overs per session. What to focus on? Do not rush as you approach the obstacle. The most dangerous moment in real-life tripping situations is exactly that split second when you see the hazard ahead and either rush to clear it or hesitate at the wrong moment. This exercise teaches you to slow down, assess calmly, and execute with full control. Lift your foot early, earlier than feels necessary. Give yourself more clearance than the obstacle seems to require. That generous margin of safety is the habit you are building. The habit that will protect you when a real obstacle appears unexpectedly on a real floor in your real life. Progress tip. Once 5 passes feel genuinely comfortable and automatic, try varying the height slightly. A little higher one week, a rolled towel of different thickness the next. You can also practice while carrying something light in one hand, such as a small water bottle. This is a much more accurate simulation of the way real-life trips tend to happen, because in real life, your attention is rarely fully on the floor when an obstacle appears. Your daily routine. Here is how to fit all 5 exercises into your real life, simply and sustainably. Every morning before you stand up from bed, sit on the edge of your mattress and lift your toes 10 times on each foot. This wakes up your dorsiflexors before your feet ever touch the floor, which is one of the most dangerous moments of your entire day. Cold muscles, stiff joints, and an unfocused mind all combine in those first few steps out of bed. Warming those ankle muscles before you stand gives you a critical layer of protection right when you need it most. Then once during the day, after lunch works very well, complete your full 5 exercise session using the repetitions outlined above. The entire session takes less than 10 minutes. Finally, in the evening, do 10 slow high knee marches on each leg while holding the back of a chair. This keeps your hip flexors activated and your lifting reflex sharp even on the days when your full session is not possible. Morning toe lifts, afternoon full session, evening knee marches. 3 simple commitments, less than 15 minutes total. And over 4 to 6 weeks, the difference in how confidently your feet interact with the ground beneath them will genuinely surprise you. Important safety warning. Before you begin any of these exercises, please take this seriously, because your safety comes first, always. If you have recently had hip surgery or ankle surgery of any kind, please speak with your doctor or physical therapist before attempting these movements. Your recovery may require a modified approach. Always keep one hand on a wall, handrail, or sturdy chair throughout every exercise. Never practice in socks on a smooth floor. Wear non-slip shoes or go barefoot on a safe surface. If you feel sharp pain anywhere in your hip, shin, or ankle, stop immediately. If you feel sudden dizziness or any loss of balance, sit down right away. There is no repetition here that is worth risking a fall. Move at your own pace and trust your body to tell you when it is ready for more. Closing. Before you close this video, remember this. Tripping is not simply the price of getting older. When your toes catch rugs or thresholds, your body may be asking for stronger ankle dorsiflexors and hip flexors. 5 exercises, 2 muscle groups, and less than 15 minutes a day can help you walk with confidence and control. Start today with 1 set, then repeat it tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this.
Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.